Hey look, another video. Well, today I'll be doing the opposite of the video I made a couple days ago, which is now going on to a week. We'll be going to the best features of every track because, oh my god, look at them views. And also, because why not? I'll be covering the same tracks as I did before, except dishing out some positivity. Hopefully. Just remember this is all opinion, not fact, so here we go, starting off with Northern Isle Speedway. I feel as if this track is more of a meme track. So what do you do when you have a meme track? Have a meme race. That's its only good quality. Having a race that you don't take seriously just to piss about on for about 20 minutes and then go back to regular racing or something. I will be honest, I don't particularly drive Catalunya that much, but the best feature is one that I alluded to in the worst features video, and that's the addition of the chicane bypass at the tail end of the track. It finally opens up the opportunity for overtakes into turn 1, which the chicane would otherwise disrupt. And let's be honest, we all celebrated when the layout without the chicane came into the game, because it made the track finally bearable. Spa is a fun experience to drive, but of all the things I love about this track, it's the elevation changes that take it for me. Ascending up the hill of the Eau Rouge Radion sequence and falling back down the mountain from the Lacombe chicane down to Stavelot, the relatively flat run through Blanchemont and the hilly final chicane. The elevations give this track so much character to the amazing corners, and in reality, could you really imagine Spa without the massive elevation changes? In the previous video, I mentioned that I didn't want to use the same reasoning as I did with Northern Isle Speedway, but right now I'm taking the lazy route and copy pasting my reasoning because I genuinely can't see any other positives of this track other than being a meme race. So take that as you will. The Red Bull Ring contains 3 long straights. The first straight ends at a sharp and tricky right-hander, which is crucial for generating as much speed up the long straight and up the hill, which sets you up for an attack into a sharp corner at the top of the hill. Once you navigate that second corner, there is another straight which, instead of going up a hill, the third corner goes downhill into another sharp right-hander, leading to another potential overtake. Moral of the story, this track has 3 crucial braking zones, or corners, whatever, with 3 crucial straights preceding them, leading to 3 potential overtaking zones, with the infield providing an area to attempt to pull away, creating the perfect balance, I suppose. Kinda makes you appreciate why a lot of people run Red Bull Ring on multiplayer lobbies. This track is a roller coaster for me, but the best part of this track is the fast and agile final sector run from the corkscrew down to the final corner. The corkscrew is always a challenge to get right, and the long left and right corner that follow really makes you push your car's aerodynamical grip to the limit to take these corners, and finally ending on a very sharp left-hander, which is a lot tighter than you really think it is. The final sector is a textbook example of what makes the track great. Challenging corners, with each corner being different from the last. Kyoto Driving Park has a bunch of long aerodynamic left corners which are a joy to drive. In cars that are Group 3 and above, simply throwing the car in and immediately accelerating, having a full trust in the car's aerodynamics is great, but most of it is found on the long turn 1 into the S's and into another long left down the hill and into a sharp braking zone. And the final long corner on the Miyabi course just before the pit straight, and I believe this is the longest one on the course, and it's crazy trying to go side to side on these corners. Even though my dislike for this track is immeasurable, I do have to give in to the inevitable that I love the mad dash on the final bank corner, as everyone is trying to bash through the pack and climb over everyone else, and everyone betrays their bump drafting groups. It's honestly hilarious, also seeing so many cars in the radar. Just as I mentioned in the worst features video, I prefer Daytona over Route X, and honestly the final lap is the only thing I enjoy with this track, as the chaos is equivalent to the final bank corner of Route X. Just everyone fighting in close proximity, causing absolute pandemonium. High Speed Ring is my favorite oval slash speedway track, and it comes down to balance. Comparing this to a conventional oval such as Daytona, I'm usually not 100% engaged on normal ovals, as you're just holding the throttle with slight turning inputs to go around the bends. However, I'm pretty much 100% engaged with High Speed Ring, as the corners facilitate regular battles found at racetracks throughout turn 2 to 4, so the hairpins basically. And the rest of the track uses your regular oval gameplay with long straights, used for bump drafting and keeping cars close due to slipstream. Another bonus is this track rains as it transforms the corners, as you can no longer take the corners as easy, and the final corner is no longer flat out. If you've been running Route X or Daytona for oval races, I suggest you give High Speed Ring a shot. With so many straights on this track with only chicanes to separate them, the layout does not allow for cars to escape that well due to the slipstream effect. This means cars are closer in proximity to each other for longer, which can prompt some battles into the heavy braking zones. The only time this effect doesn't occur is when there's a huge car pileup, turn 1, occurs and the leader escapes unscathed. That's a free win for them if that's the case. The Nürburgring is one hell of a track with 25 kilometers of driving bliss, and the best part of it is the challenge. Time trial on this track is a challenge trying to hook up all 170 corners of the Norwich Life of varying lengths and speeds. No two corners are the same around here, creating a sense of variability at every single corner of the track. Due to this challenge, there's also a huge disparity of lap times between drivers, as this is no ordinary track, and it really shows the difference between those who like to play it safe and those who take risks, which is necessary to get those extremely quick lap times that are like 8 seconds quicker than the rest. As I mentioned in the previous video, the final sector is my favorite section of the track, because it's a true test of patience, as you really need to give time for the car to turn, as any inputs would either break traction or the car won't really steer adequately. The apexes in this section are also really late, which is not really natural to a lot of us, because most of us want to, hit the apex immediately. But these problems is, in quotation marks, is why I love this section of the track. I mentioned that my hate for this track is primarily because of the final sector, and I still stand by that decision. But the process of trying to get it right is where I find the enjoyment or the great feature of this track. Tackling this part of the track that I'm worst at. Although I do believe, even if I get somewhat okay at doing it, Autopolis still wouldn't really be a highly rated track for me. Sorry, Autopolis fans. From here on out, I feel like posting the worst slash best features of every track videos in pairs. So in future, if I do make one of these videos again, be on the lookout for the flip side video. I do want to cover some more tracks, as there are so many more in this game that I haven't talked about, and I'm happy to do so, as I might throw in some of my favorite tracks onto the chopping block. So thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in another video.